Yeah.
All right. This is still the same day. Let me go ahead and Sunday, the 28th of April. Now it's 8:56, and there are two things I wanted to say. One, I keep forgetting, so I definitely want to say it first. So far, I've tabulated how much money I've spent out here, and it was $800. Very, very. It might have been like 806.32 or something like that, but very small amount of money. I guess a little less than $2 a mile, and as we keep going forward, it shouldn't really get any more expensive than that. So it looks like I'll probably spend around $2,000 a month, which would mean that best case scenario, this whole thing cost me about $8,000 or $9,000, which should leave me, I don't know, enough money to get on my feet when I get back. And beyond that, this is a bit of an insight that I've had a couple times while out here. Specifically when I think about telling people about this experience. Let me make sure microphone's all good. I'm still going uphill. I forgot that this is a $2,000 climb, 2,000 foot climb, and so I've been climbing for the better part of 45 minutes, which, you know, it's definitely one way to get your blood going in the morning. But anyway, you know, I think one of the biggest takeaways certainly is just how much an experience like this sort of reinvigorates your faith in people. And you know, I can't say that that's the case for everyone, because there are still some people out here by themselves. But, you know, I've had a lot of conversations with people about how hard it is to make friends as an adult. And, you know, I've experienced that to a degree in my own life, you know, because you have to give people time, and, you know, time is precious, and you don't want to give people who, you know, you're not really connecting with time, because then you feel like you wasted your time. So as a protective measure, you may just prefer to stick with what you got. And so, you know, your friend pool can become dwindlingly small and perhaps unsatisfying if you're hanging out with the same people for your entire life. But similarly to when I went to Japan, I don't know. Well, no, I do know. An experience like this, you know, spending so much time with people, as you sort of organically clump up together, as this group has, you know, you afford them that time, and you see sort of an accelerated, like, I don't know, I'm spending like, you know, 8 to 10 hours a day with these people, and so I see all the different sides of them, and they of me, and so it's just like, it's an accelerated friendship group, because, you know, Snowbird said when he first started the trail, he thought he might be alone the whole time, which would help him finish on his timetable and schedule. But he had an insight after a couple of days being alone that, as he said, he was made for people, which I think is pretty profound, and something that I think I agree with for myself as well. And so being out here and being made for people, those who you find quickly become, you know, deep relationships. It's really cool. It's like the antidote for feeling jaded, because then you're like, oh, it's actually not hard to make friends. It's just hard to, like, convince yourself in a modern context that it's worth it. Because I guess, you know, fear of rejection, it's a lot easier to hide from other people in the real world. Whereas out here, obviously, we cross each other's paths several times every day. Excuse me. So, you know, for what it's worth, I think I may have already said or described a similar sentiment in a past clip, but I was just feeling it today just because, last night was so fun around the fire, just cooking and laughing and, honestly enjoying everyone's company. And I'm kind of reminded of this thing that Frozen said on his YouTube channel, where he was like, I enjoy hiking more than camping. And at this point, I certainly still enjoy the hiking part, listening to music, having some coffee, perhaps a word or two with Grandpa, as I did this morning. Grandpa's almost gone, y'all, so, speak now or forever hold your peace. Anyway, what was I saying? Blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, so hiking is still a fun part of the day for sure. I enjoy the exercise, especially given the terrible diet that I have had to adopt to accommodate this amount of physical activity. But I think ultimately I look forward to camp more than anything else. Where we can all relax and talk, and fires are always nice. I love making a fire. Compton did a lot of the heavy lifting last night in terms of getting fuel and stoking it and stuff like that. But yeah, it's my time to organize. It's my time to eat, socialize. It's great. I think, maybe once a decade or something like that, it behooves a person, especially if you feel jaded. I think it behooves you to do something that is a total upset to your life. And I don't think you necessarily need to go on a thru hike, because this is a pretty big commitment. I think you can probably get similar doses of this kind of reality in a more condensed time frame that are equally effective. But for me, given the way I spent the last 5 years of my life, I don't know, I wanted something big and massive and undeniable. And again, what is it, 28? Today's actually I'll consider it my 1 month anniversary. I've been out here for 30 days, I think. I don't know. And so the majority is still in front of me. I've only done a quarter, which is just incredible. I can't even imagine how much deeper and harder and how much more endurance and persistence will be required to keep going. I'm not sick of it yet, that's for sure. I enjoy this a lot, and I hope that I can just keep up with everybody and day after day continue to build these relationships. This is fun, and again, it's a renewed faith in humanity, which is a bit of an exaggeration, but at the same time, it's a real feeling, So I feel like there was one more point I wanted to bring up, so I'm going to try to rack my brain a little bit while I just say words that will act as filler. What was I going to say? Quarter done. Trail days. I do wonder what's going to come of that situation, since we're all going to kind of break schedules for a bit and then try to get back together. Compton had mentioned he wanted to go into DC for a couple days. That'll be, I actually don't even know when that would be, but I don't know, I'll follow the group. If everyone wants to go into DC and Compton can give us free room and board. What is board, by the way? I don't know, is that food? Well, room and food. Anyway, if that can happen, then I'd be willing to go out. I don't think Snowbird would want to go off for 2 days, so that might be a bit contentious, but we'll see. It is a bit of a liability having to defer to the will of the group, but sometimes it's also kind of nice to not have to make a decision, such as in that case, if it was just me, Snowbird, and Compton, and I had to decide whether to go with Compton or to go Snowbird, I'd have to really think about it. But if 5/6 of the people say they want to go to DC, then I'll go to DC too, whatever. It'll be a little part of the whole thing that's memorable. So taking what you can get. Definitely happy to be back out here. And I guess I'll go back to listening to music, climbing this big mountain. I think I have a good bit still left to go. There's a bald in front of me. I'm guessing everyone's stopping there for a bit. So, yeah, part B of my 1 month anniversary. And I will talk to you later. Bye.